Super Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury. So this is going to be an interesting series of videos. There's 100 of these cat shines that you have to collect inside of this little Bowser's Fury world. And it's a little bit weird. You can pretty much collect them in whatever order you want. So the videos are going to be a little confusing. Maybe I'm going to try to match together the lighthouses to one another with all the sprites that are... I keep calling them sprites, but they're shines. Like, shine sprites are kind of like the ones from Sunshine. But anyway, I'm going to try to match them all together in the same video. We'll see how that goes, I guess. So there's Bowser in the background. Very angry. And this video is going to be mostly the intro and also the first, whatever it's called, Lighthouse. So if you notice, when Bowser gets angry, he's going to chuck fireballs and also all of these blocks at us, and we just need to avoid them. It's actually pretty easy to avoid them. There's not really anything that I'd say is super hard when it comes to getting these cat shines. And something there you'll want to pay attention to, Bowser's breath broke all of those boxes, and we're going to grab our first shine. So, the shines will make the lighthouses bright. That will actually damage Bowser a little bit. And I believe you have to battle Bowser about 5 times, and that will so-called complete the Bowser's Fury. But it feels a little bit underwhelming when you do it that way, so we're going to do all 100 shines before that happens. And this game is a standalone addition to the 3D World that just came out on the Switch. So if you play 3D World, you can swap between these two however many times you want. Okay, our first lighthouse is outside of the ocean, and there's actually a few others that we could go to, but we're going to focus on the first one. And we're going to notice down there is Bowser Jr. So we got barking dogs in the background, and if we come up to the top of any of these lighthouses, they're going to have this shining spot between the cat ears. Just ground pound, and you get a couple of items out of them. So that one's a mushroom, doesn't really help us too much. And I don't really, when I'm playing through this, I really don't take too much damage. So you'll probably have a nice stock of items. You can have 5 of each of those items down in the bottom left corner. But we're going to head on over, talk to Bowser Jr. and see why he's panicking when he's usually responsible for half of our problems. And he's letting us know with his fancy paintbrush his dad got really angry. And now we have to fix the problem, of course. I'm of course going to set this to none. I don't really need any tutorials from Bowser Jr. I'm not sure what he tells you. He probably might be helpful, I don't know. Usually the help in Nintendo games is pretty vague. But now we have all of this world at our fingertips, and it's a pretty weird open world kind of form of 3D world, and the main difference that I've noticed is that in this one, the camera follows you at all times. In 3D World, the camera does not follow you at all times, and because the camera is fixed in 3D World, that, in my experience, often meant that I would miss tons of jumps, because I just could not determine depth perception at all. But in this game, it's a heck of a lot easier to determine depth perception when the camera is permanently following you. So I found this one to be a little bit easier than 3D World, but it also felt a little bit like an offshoot of Mario in general, so I don't think the intention was for this to be difficult, or I don't know, it kind of felt thrown together, which I guess it was, but it's still a lot of fun. And there's also going to be these cat tokens. There's 5 of them in each of the lighthouses, so that will be one of the cat shines, and I'm going to do my best to include all of them. Hopefully I don't miss many. I know for this one I think I do find all 5 of them, and my shines are really going to be in no particular order. If I have the patience, I will go through and type in the description the names of all the shines that I collect in a particular video, but I'll probably miss many of them. And then we can pick up these cats. This was pretty new and also horrifically entertaining. And you just pick up the cats that can swipe and claw their way through all of these boxes and pretty much anything. So they're kind of funny to pick up. They're a lot of fun to play with. And then we can jump on here and just kind of look around to see there's going to be a lot of those weird birds for us. And if you take the cat, you can either just run on through even without the cat and you won't get hit by any of them, or you could wait a second and then you could kill them all with the cat. But I didn't do that. So the first shine is easily accessible from being on top of the lighthouse here, and there's this random bird that just came out of nowhere, made me panic. I jumped inside of there, almost died, and I was expecting there to be a cat suit inside of that box, and there was. So we're gonna kill this bird, and not that anything really comes from it, and then we'll kill that one. And I can't remember if I grabbed the shine or not. I don't think I do yet. There's the third, or I guess that's actually the fifth cat token, and the other one, the third one we're going to be getting, is down here. I got to here from the bottom, but it's kind of near the front of the stage, so you can kind of see it there. And then this one is below the arch. So Bowser kind of came up when we were walking over here, and that is something that will happen periodically. Bowser will show up and be very angry at you, and it's really not too big of a deal. You can just kind of ignore him. He'll go away on his own eventually, or anytime you get a cat shine, like we did here finding all 5 of the shards. That one was below the arch there, if you see kind of near the bottom. Then it will light up the lighthouse and send him away. So that was the first shine that I grabbed, and that will get rid of him for now. And then the next one that I grab, I think, is just the really easy one. That was right at the top. And each lighthouse has 5 sprites that you can collect. So yep, that one's just at the top of the hill. And of course you can go to the top of each lighthouse to get an item like we did with the very first one. The map will let you know how many sprites you've collected at each tower. Or lighthouse, whatever the heck you want to call it. Okay, so this is Fury Shadow. We're going to come here just by coming back. And if you want to kind of reset the lighthouse, all you have to do is leave it, go to another one, and then come back and it will reset it and give you the new sprite gold that you need. So this one is just a Shadow Luigi, and we need to hit him 3 times, either by jumping on him or hitting him with fireballs. The cat suit seems to be easiest for me, but fireballs aren't bad either. If you have to jump on him, that's a little harder, but also doable. And you can pretty much run faster than he can. This first one's a lot easier than some of the later ones. I'd say probably this Luigi are some of the more aggravating shines that you can collect. But there's the third one that we got. And then we'll go for the fourth one once that lighthouse gets lit up there. So if you have Bowser up while you send a shine to the lighthouse, it will damage Bowser a little bit, which makes your fight against him just a little easier, but in the grand scheme doesn't really matter. Okay, so there's, I think I'm near the back side of this lighthouse now. Some of these jumps are making it a little bit difficult to track, but if you hang out on the lighthouse for any amount of time, you pretty much learn where everything is, so it won't be too big of a deal. But anyway, Bowser woke up, and I think this might be the Fury blocks that I'm going for. Let's see, yes. So each lighthouse has a bunch of these Fury blocks. They can only be broken by Bowser. So it's kind of a battle between deciding, do you want Bowser to wake up and break the blocks for you, or do you want to fight him and just continue the game that way. So it's a little bit annoying because sometimes you do just sit there and wait on Bowser. I don't know what the exact time limit is. You can see kind of in the middle of this ocean that he'll be spinning and rising out of the ground, and that's kind of your timer, your so-called hourglass timer of when he comes back. So sometimes if you want the Fury blocks broken, you have to just wait on him to show up, and that's probably the worst part of the Bowser's Fury collection here, the shine collections, but as long as you just kind of keep aware of which shines you need, then you should be fine. Kind of timing and knowing, okay, Bowser's up, I should go to the other island to get those Fury blocks. Okay, so now we're going to do the final one, which is the key to the cat shine, and this is just going to be a box that has a shine inside of it with a key that you have to collect somewhere else on the island or on the lighthouse, and you have to take it back to the shine, but you can't jump in the water, and if you get hurt, there's a pretty high chance that you'll lose the key. So it does kind of want you to platform your way back the way you came, but you can't really jump right here off into the water and then immediately start swimming. That is not going to work. The key will disappear, but we're just going to take it back. It's pretty easy here. We're just going to jump on down this part and then take it back and get the final sprite for this lighthouse.